Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Jatan Verma IAS Academy. I'm Srikant Sir and today we will be taking a session with reference to the optional program which we are going to start from 8th of November 2021. Now students, the purpose here that we all have assembled is just to get a know-how of what exactly geography as an optional subject is, what are the various aspects, what are the various dimensions, what are the various benefits that you people will have, especially with reference to this particular subject. Okay, now, like we all know that we are starting our geography optional program from 8th of November 2021. So I want each and every one of you to join in large numbers, okay, as soon as possible so that we can start the session. Now today we'll be discussing about some important aspects, some important ideas of a very important topic known as oceanography in the geography subject. Okay, so come on guys, join in large numbers, please. Come on guys. Okay guys, so let's start with geography optional program that we have discussed. Now in today's session, we would be discussing about oceanography. Now, students, like once again, I'll tell you the same thing time and again, which I've been repeatedly asking, which I've been repeatedly saying you in the previous sessions as well, that with reference to geography, all you have to do is you have to just understand the concept. Now, once you have a clue, once you have a complete information about what exactly the subject is, what exactly the concept lies behind this particular topic, you will be making one thing sure, that whatever comes to you from these particular topics, you will be definitely able to write a very brilliant answer. Why? Because see, unlike history, unlike any other subject, you don't have to provide dates or something, you don't have to provide some concepts. Okay, yeah, concepts are there, but with reference to when you compare it with the rest of the subjects, the traditional subjects, okay, where more or less your opinion is to be framed. Okay, now here you just got to know a complete information about the concept. Now for example, when I speak with reference to oceanography, now what exactly do I see in oceanography? Now obviously the name itself suggests that we are definitely talking about the oceans here, what exactly it is, how exactly it is, what are the various aspects, what are the various dimensions of ocean that we have to see, that we have to understand. Now, first and the foremost important thing about when we speak with reference to oceanography, one thing has to be taken into consideration, and that one thing is that we have to understand the concept of water cycle. I'm sure each and every one of you is quite aware with that idea. Now, what exactly happens in water cycle? We know that there are various processes such as starting with evaporation, then you have the condensation, then you have precipitation, and at last you have the percolation thing, right? Now we can discuss all these things, all these ideas in detail, how exactly these things happened. Now apart from that, what else do you see in oceanography? Now before we start, we actually want to know what lies in the oceans, how exactly the territory of an ocean begins, how exactly the territory of an ocean starts. Now, when we speak with reference to this particular idea, with this particular concept, we can say one thing very clearly. Now, what exactly that one thing is? We have to do the classification. For example, if you remember in yesterday's session, I have told you that when we start with reference to oceans, how do we actually start? We start with the continental shelf, followed by the continental slope. Then you have the oceanic depths, also known as the trenches. And then we have the concept idea of the abyssal plains. Now, different things can be seen with reference to these particular regions. Now, with reference to continental shelf, what exactly happens? What exactly is continental shelf? Now, all this idea, all this, like these are basic things, these are basic concepts. You have an idea about, okay, what exactly an continental shelf is. So you know that, okay, fine. The moment our oceans start, it doesn't mean the land gets over right there. No, The land region, see, because we don't have fixed territories, so the land, it keeps on continuing, the land never gets finished. It's just the when you start moving towards the ocean, you start feeling okay, because of the land following a particular pattern. Now you can observe a gradient, okay. However, with the reference to this particular gradient, the land keeps on moving and we start observing, okay, now these are the regions where the land is definitely quite downwards with reference to the water. Now suddenly you have a slope, okay, that you call as the continental slope. Then you have oceanic depths like trenches. You must have heard of the name Mariana Trench. And then you have the abyssal plains. Now, what are the various features that you can find is a part, is a thing that we have to study with reference to oceanography here. Now, second and very important thing, that when we speak with reference to the features of ocean, now we can definitely say that yes, you have tides, you have the waves, and you have the ocean currents. Now, what exactly are these things? Now, these are nothing but the movement of water. The movement of water, which starts from one particular place and it ends. Now, tides and waves are quite an easy concept to understand, that how exactly do they generate and how exactly do they diminish. But when we speak with reference to ocean currents, it is one of the very important concepts that we have to see in oceanography. Now, students, when I'm speaking about oceanic currents, okay, when I'm speaking about oceanic currents, there are different ideas. You have the classification of the currents on the basis of the source of origin. For example, if a oceanic currents originates from the equatorial region, you call it as a warm water current. A ocean current that originates from a polar region, you call it as cold water current. Now, what exactly are the different features? How exactly is the movement, in which direction the water is to be traveled? Now, all these things, they are required to be understood. Now, here only you can see of different concepts. What are the various roles? How does gravity play an important role? What role is being played by the wind? And one of the foremost important roles that we speak about is with reference to the Coriolis force. Now, Coriolis force, what exactly it is? A simple concept to understand, a very simple concept. I'm just giving you a very general idea. Now, once you have understood this idea, you can easily determine, okay, that these are the directions in which the movement of the water will take place. And here that we speak with reference to the Coriolis force, we know that Coriolis force is minimum at the equators and is maximum in the polar regions. That's why we take this example. For example, if you're standing on the North Pole and you throw a stone, now in which direction you are sending the stone in a very straight direction, but where exactly the stone is going to travel, it will depend upon the region, it will depend upon the Coriolis force. The same can be said with reference to a person standing at the South Pole and throwing a stone. Now that's how you will actually come to know that what are the different regions, where exactly, okay, in the clockwise direction, in the anti-clockwise direction, where exactly is it going to, right? Now that actually explains how these oceanic currents will work. Now, once we have seen of all these concepts, then we can talk about different aspects of an ocean. For example, one of the most important thing is temperature, pressure, and salinity. Now, these are some important things. Now, what happens with reference to temperature? Now, obviously, on the surface of the ocean, the temperature is quite high. But as we start moving downwards, we know that the temperature will start decreasing. What would be the various ideas? What would be the various factors that would be applied? What exactly would be the temperature after a certain region? See, because the temperature significance is related with the light. So definitely the areas till which the light can reach, definitely it can have an effect of temperature. Okay, it can have the effect of temperature. But what about the regions where the light does not reaches? Okay, there is one particular point after which the temperature becomes constant. It won't be like, okay, it's keep on decreasing and it'll come beneath 0 degrees. That's not possible. If the temperature is 0 degrees on the surface, on the, you can say, on the depths, what about the species that live here? So temperature never would be, especially inside, it won't be below 0 degree. It can be very less, it can be 1 degree, it can be 0.5 degrees, okay, but it can never be 0 degrees on the beneath I'm talking. Same goes with the idea of pressure, same goes with the idea of salinity. And what exactly are the factors, what exactly are the features, how importantly do they have their effect on various concepts, like what exactly happens to the salinity, what exactly happens to the pressure concept. Now, once we have covered all these ideas, then we'll be talking about one very important thing, that is different aspects of the different oceans. Now, in this particular segment, we would be talking about what? We would be talking about that, okay, what are the features of the Indian Ocean? What are the various features of the Pacific Ocean? What are the various features of the Atlantic Ocean? Now, once we have completed all that, we will be coming on this particular segment. And yes, now whether it's about the resources, whether it's about the relief, whether it's about the various other aspects, each and everything with reference to each and every ocean will be discussed here in detail with you guys. And guys, trust me, one more thing, that when I speak with reference to oceanography, one thing is quite clear. I can say that oceanography is one of the most easiest topics of physical geography. You just have to understand, you just have to recollect the data, you just have to see how and why these things are happening. Okay, now that can be said something with reference to the oceanography part. Okay, and oceanography, as far as I can tell, now once we have seen oceanography, various important things, various important events, what are the various issues, especially for example, now I can come to the coral reefs. Now when we are talking about the coral reefs, we know that basically they are what? Basically they're calcareous polyps. Okay, how exactly a coral reef is being formed? Okay, what kind of ecosystem is being provided here? And at last, we'll be talking about one very important, significant point that comes with reference to the coral reefs, and that is the concept of coral bleaching. Now, what exactly this idea, this concept of coral bleaching is, how exactly it is actually causing a damage to this particular ecosystem of which we call as the coral ecosystem. How exactly, what role, or moreover, what role is being played by the continental shelf? What happens when the continental shelf is broader? Now, for example, if I speak with reference to India, now the coral reefs can be found on majorly on the western coast of India and not on the eastern coast of India. Now, one very important reason in order to substantiate this particular discussion would be to say that because of the wideness, because of the breadth of the coral reef on the western coast, because of the broader coral reefs, the continental shelf, we can see that the growth of coral reefs is actually affected by that. And by affecting, I means it increases. Okay, so how exactly, what are the various challenges that we have when we speak with reference to this particular concept of coral reefs? Now, similarly, we will be talking about the various other aspects, various other maritime laws. We'll be talking about the UN clause, okay, UNCLOS. So all these ideas, all these concepts will be discussed with you guys when we will be speaking about the concept of oceanography. Okay. Now, there are a lot many couple of things. Okay, we will be seeing that what exactly the oceanic heights are. Okay, what exactly are the reasons, why do we call the Pacific ring of fire as the ring of fire? Why do we have that particular region as a susceptible region for both the ideas of volcanicity as well as seismic activities? So we'll be talking about all such things in detail in a very elaborate manner. Okay, so guys, if you have any queries, kindly please ask me. Nandini, good evening, beta. Ram Kumar, hi. Come on, guys. If you have any queries, please ask me. Anything that you want to ask. Come on, guys. Puchiye, beta. Any query that you have, that how exactly are we going to approach, what exactly is going to be our approach. See, guys, I'm telling you time and again, repeatedly, I'm saying this thing to you. And, guys, trust me. Now, whenever we are talking about geography, it's all about the understanding of the concepts. That's it. See, especially with reference to the physical geography part, you got to understand the things. You have a particular topics. Okay, for example, when I speak with reference to human geography, when I speak with reference to economic geography, yes, you might be needing a lot of data there, but when I'm talking about physical geography, this particular segment of physical geography, I can ensure one thing very clearly to you, that once you have understood the entire concept, okay, once you have a complete information that okay, this is how the things are going to happen, trust me, geography will become a piece of cake for you guys. And that's exactly what you have to do. See, you have to control the subject. You have to understand the subject in such a manner that whatever question is being asked from you guys, you must be able to write down an appropriate, a perfect answer to that very question. Okay. Now, for that to happen, you just need to pay attention. You just need to stay focused. Okay. That's all. See, subject is very, like, if you will try to understand the subject now, the subject is going to be really very easy. All that you have to do is you have to just dedicate 100% in order to understand it. See, the sessions that we are going to be taking now, they are going to be an elaborative one. It's not that I'll be just touching one particular concept and moving from that. No, there would be a proper discussion. Until unless you guys have understood one particular concept, we are not going to move forward. Okay, so my concept, my idea with reference to this particular course which we are going to start is very simple. You give your 100% and I'll ensure that whatever the requirements you have with reference to this particular subject will be provided to you in a very elaborate, in a very detailed fashion, in a very detailed manner. Okay, so guys, if you have anything to ask, please ask me now. Anything, whatever queries you have, please ask me. Whatever things you want to ask, come on guys, now is the time, please ask me. Okay guys, so I hope I'm making my couple of things quite clear to you here guys, right? So guys, with reference to the program, I want to tell you that at Jatin Verma's IAS Academy, we are starting a geography optional program from 8th of November 2021. The features of the program are like it's going to be your Monday to Friday classes. The session will be of 2 hours every day. The sessions will be bilingual, like prominently it's going to be 75 to 80% it's going to be English, 25 to 20% it'll be in Hindi. We will be taking regular tests. There would be regular doubt sessions where you guys can come up with your queries and each and every query of you will be answered by us. Okay, you will be having a great mentoring sessions as well in the form of me, in the form of Jatin sir, right? So guys, do not delay, kindly enroll yourself for the optional program which we are going to start from 8th. Okay, expecting you guys to join in large numbers. Okay, guys. So I hope you enjoyed my session. Thank you very much. Thank you.